Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Was From a Joker Clan, Part 2. Now, go subscribe to Anime Sensei or Iconic with us, but yeah, what's it called? Also, I'm not gonna do a recap because I'm too fucking lazy, but yeah, I'm going to try to upload both What If Naruto was from the Joker Clan, and What If Naruto was the reincarnation of, Benjimaru, and, Shigaraki and Dabi and all that. But other than that, let me continue on from the last time I left it off. Well, I kind of left it off where Naruto was fighting against Itachi. Now, since Naruto is right now, just in front of Itachi, Itachi's tired. Itachi is very tired from the fact that he used Tsukiyomi, and it backfired on him. So, of course, Itachi, he can't do anything. He thinks that even if he uses Sano, it will backfire on him. He doesn't know what exactly Naruto used to kind of use it on himself instead. But Naruto cannot control the Susanoo. Instead, this is where, Naruto kind of goes forward towards Itachi with the sword and rushes at Itachi. This is kind of Naruto has a medium katana while Itachi has a tanto. So when Naruto reaches to Itachi, they both just clash. The two blades kind of clash. This is where Naruto is, damn it, this guy's still so strong. This is where Itachi says, you won't be able to defeat me. Not even in your million years. Not even in a million years. This is where something happens. Root Onbus and also Danzo appeared. This is where, Danzo says, so Itachi, you are the one to kill the clan. He kind of smirks a little bit, because he sees that Itachi is tired. Naruto says, who the hell are you? This is where Danzo says, oh, that would be none of your business, kid. Or should I say Ninetales. This is where he kind of gets rid of the bandages and then says, Kuratazi, whatever, the Shinso's eye. He tried to put Naruto into his Genjutsu. When he does that, instead of Naruto being in Genjutsu, he kind of passes out, unconsciously goes down. And Danzo was confused. He wanted Naruto to try to kind of go with him, but be unconscious somewhere a little bit. But this is where something else takes control of Naruto. The Ninetales. This is where Naruto kind of goes into berserk of the Ninetales. This is where Danzo says, no, that can be not. That's a you damn demon. He tries to put him back into the Kusanagi blade. Or not the Kusanagi blade. The Shinsui's eye. I forgot what it's called, but whatever. And so I Genshin to try to control him. And it doesn't work. Naruto's eyes are right now bloodshot red like the Ninetales. And this is where, the Ninetales kind of smack down in the ground, and this is where something happens. Naruto unlocks something from the Joker clan, and his special ability, strings. He just unlocks strings from his hand, turning the ground into nothing but strings, and of course it just stabs through every ninja, every root envoy, even Danzo, hitting him through multiple parts. This is where, Danzo had it to use the Inazaki blade. I mean, not the Inazaki. Not the Inazaki blade, but the Inazami or whatever. Of course, he escaped, but this is where, Naruto and the Naruto cloak sends him. So, of course, tried to stab him again. But this is where Danzo didn't have his arm out. So, of course, this is where it gets cut off. And, of course, it gets cut into a million pieces. Naruto's in berserk. This is where Naruto's trying to take control. He's like, no, you don't, you fucking bastard. This is where, he managed to kick, Kurama out of the control, and he goes back into himself, but consciously falling down and going to sleep. So yeah, he passes out. This is where, Itachi was like, what the hell? This kid is dangerous. He killed Danzo and the others. But whatever. I guess I gotta leave. So Itachi still leaves and just runs. Now, of course, this is where, Naruto wakes up the next day in the hospital, because, So, of course, this is where, Naruto, he was, waking up in the hospital, and of course, Hiruzen was there, kind of asking Naruto about what happened last night. This is where Naruto, he acts because from being the Joker, he can act pretty good and all, like an actor and all. And of course, this is where he acts saying that he doesn't know what happened last night and can't really remember. This is where Haruka nods and tells Naruto that he can go home. And of course, that's what Naruto does. He goes home and then he can remember everything what happened. He remembers this kind of red glow kind of near him trying to take control of his body. Until Naruto says, "No, you don't." And of course, he can remember that he can activate strings. And that's when Naruto started kind of figuring out from his body. He can use strings. He doesn't know much of what he actually is. So, of course, he started just using the strings. He started training and using the strings. He can cut through anything with the strings. With that, Naruto found out he can cut anything with the strings. He can also turn any surface into strings. And he can also make clothing. He can also kind of use the strings to attach himself into things. Like connect himself into things. Kind of like put one string into the sky and he can actually climb up in the sky. Or kind of stay and floating in midair because of the string. But yeah. Of course, he can either thin it enough so no one can see it, or make it thicker. But yeah. He also found out that adding chakra actually allows what's it called his string to become even what's it called, well, sharper. And I mentioned thinner, thicker, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto, he keeps kind of adding with, kind of playing with the string and kind of training with, so I can actually become stronger and all. But yeah. Haruka doesn't know how Danzo is dead, but he's thinking Itachi did it, but yeah, he doesn't know why. This is where, well, he doesn't understand the root ombuds because he disbanded that agency unless Danzo was kind of running it underneath, but now Danzo's dead. So yeah, he doesn't understand. Now, of course, well, Azumi Uchiha wakes up and of course is kind of having to take care of Sasuke, but yeah, since she's the only other Uchiha that's alive. Haruka doesn't understand why she's alive because he thought Itachi really killed everyone. But she's alive and Sasuke's alive. And yeah, this is where, well, Naruto trains with his strings. And also, we go into Naruto into a 4-year time skip. Well, not a 4-year time skip, a 3-year time skip. Since Naruto was 9 at that time, he's now 12. Naruto actually trained using his string ability. But he also found out something else. He can actually pull out a scythe out of nowhere. A red scythe. Now, of course, I'll mention how the scythe would look like. But it does kind of look like what's called Mr. Q's scythe. But yeah. Of course, he also found out that he can make cards, like fire cards, out of nowhere. He kind of doesn't understand why, but he can actually get more abilities after he keeps training with his strings. Or he gets more abilities and yeah. Doesn't understand. He also met the Nine Tails, but the Nine Tails was kind of trying to help him kill the Uchiha. And of course, Naruto doesn't really understand this man. Or the Nine Tails and why he hates the Uchiha a lot. This is where, well, the Nine Tails doesn't explain much, but yeah. Of course, Naruto found out that Kurama, this is Kurama the Nine Tails, so yeah, he found out his name, but yeah. Now, Naruto is kind of respectful a little bit, but not much, because he is the Joker clan. And of course, doesn't really respect Kurama that much, but yeah. Of course, is where, well, we go into, Naruto going to the academy. Now, of course, Naruto was already going to the academy when he was 9. It's just he didn't trust it that much and didn't really care. Of course, he's now in the academy, and he's in a classroom with what's it called, Sasuke and the others, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto is, like, just dealing with the academy class and all that. But, yeah. So, with Naruto kind of, what's it called, going to the academy, of course, dealing with everyone. But, of course, Naruto didn't show any skill. So, we go fast forward into Naruto being in the test. Now, Naruto knows about the Shadow Clone. He does it perfectly fine and everything. Now, of course, this is where Naruto doesn't show that many abilities still because he doesn't care. But yeah, he still acts a little bit like the class clown, but he is extremely smart. So of course he knew that if he wasn't dead last, he would have been with the Uchiha, but he doesn't want to be with the Uchiha. So yeah. So of course, as well, um, Naruto, he is trying so hard not to be with the Uchiha, and yeah, he's kind of just being kind of like in the middle with like Shikamaru and all that, but yeah. Of course, as well, uh, Naruto managed to like pass with flying colors and all. He still has a ninja headband, and yeah, he doesn't show that much to be a goofball neither, but yeah. He shows a little bit mature, but a little bit non-mature, but yeah. But of course, as well, Mizuki still tries to make Naruto kind of steal the scroll of sealing, but Naruto pretty much used his string to cut him into a million pieces. They didn't care that much. Now, of course, this is when the next day happens, and Naruto is now a ninja. Now, Naruto is waiting to be on a team, but yeah. Hiruzen found out that Naruto was in the middle, and basically he doesn't want to be with Naruto. Well, not Naruto. Sasuke Uchiha. So, of course, Hiruzen had to put, what's it called, the dead last with Sasuke Uchiha. That being kind of, well, a civilian. It's a random civilian. That's where Naruto's actually put on a special team. This is where, well, the next thing happens. Now, of course, Naruto is like with the car. Well, Team 7 is still calling to be Sasuke Uchiha, Sasuke Harno, and someone named Sai. So yeah, Sai will actually be here because Danzo is dead, but yeah. This is where, well, Sasuke is not that emo that much, but yeah. He's not that emo because he kind of has Izumi Uchiha to kind of be like an older sister a little bit to him, but yeah. Now, of course, as well, she also did manage to teach what's called Sasuke how to unlock the Sharingan because she did have the Sharingan, but yeah. Of course, as well, he does have the Sharingan earlier, but yeah. Now, of course, Naruto kind of asked where his team is at. Some people laugh saying that dude doesn't have a team, even though he's a ninja or whatever. Ha ha ha. And that's where, well, Iruka says that you will have to be placed on a special team. That's where, well, he tells Naruto to kind of leave after, well, everyone is kind of getting picked up. Naruto nodded. That's where Naruto leaves after the, what they call teachers are coming in. Or not the teachers, the Jonins. This is where Naruto goes to the place that he was told to go to. Naruto kind of goes in, and of course, he sees someone with what's called, well, kind of purplish and black hair. Meaning that would be the Jonin, because they also had a Jonin vest, or she. Of course, he also sees someone with blonde hair and kind of, well, bluish eyes. And of course, she looks very happy, but Naruto can probably tell that she's also evil. And then the last dude is just like this dude that really doesn't really want to be here at all. He seems tired as fuck. But yeah, of course, Naruto walks in, and of course, is where, well, the teacher says, or not the teacher, the Jonin says, "Hello, my name is, she says, my name is, Zayana. Yeah, Zayana. This is where, well, then she decides to point at the person who's kind of tired and has black hair and black eyes. This is where the person says, my name is Aizawa. So yeah, Aizawa, and that's all. He didn't say any likes or anything like that. This is where Zayana says, fine, next to you, the blonde hair. This is where the blonde hair says, my name is, Junko. Junko, and that's all you gotta know. I really don't have a last name that much. And all I like is this, like is this, and yeah. This is where she points at Naruto and says, what about you, Blondie? This is where Naruto doesn't really like being called Blondie, but this is where he says, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. And I like this somewhat, and I guess I got just like that. This is where she says, good, because tomorrow I need you to go to the special team ground, because we're doing a test, even if you pass the tuning. Don't ask me why, but yeah. This is where she disappears, and this is where Naruto, he's about to just start leaving, but yeah. Wait, no, the teacher actually had what they call whitish hair and a blindfold, and he says, just don't eat, and yeah. And of course, he disappears. So, of course, this is where Aizawa sighs and says, what about you two? Are you two really just gonna leave? And this is where Junko says, well, I mean, I was, because I just have things to do. Naruto says, I mean, clearly he said not to, well, not to be late, but yeah. That's right, Aizawa says, clearly we need to think of something. This is gonna be a test. It's probably a test of teamwork. Naruto thinks about it and says, that is true. This is where, well, Junko says, oh, huh. So it's a test of teamwork. I guess we'll have to, well, learn each other's abilities. Aizawa says, fine, I'll go first. My name's Aizawa, right? My abilities are actually to erase chakra. This is where Naruto's interesting. This is where, well, Aizawa says, I can erase chakra, meaning anything. Sometimes, usually, seals will be the ones who kind of erase chakra or anything like that. But I have special eyes to allow me to erase chakra. Any part of your body, I can erase it with erase the chakra out of it. If you're doing a special jutsu, then I can erase it. Any jutsu that you launch at me, I will be able to erase it. Or any jutsu that's launched at us, I can erase it at all. Or erase anything. This is where Junko's interested, and she says, oh, okay. Well, my name is Junko. And, well, my abilities is kind of strange a little bit. I actually kind of get stronger if the person has despair. But other than that, I'm physically stronger in this, that, and this. And I'm pretty good in using what's called two tantos. And yeah, this is where they look at Naruto. Naruto says, fine. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. And of course, I have 3 different abilities. First ability, I can use strings out of my fingers. And of course, I can cut through almost anything. And I mean almost anything because I haven't actually tested it out in any jutsus. Second ability, I can bring out fire cards and they will be kind of used as weapons either into hand-to-hand combat or into cutting anything. But yeah. And third one, I can bring out a scythe that, well, allows me to actually bring out clouds. Don't ask why, just, yeah. And also, I have different elements. I have, well, my first kind of elements mainly are wind, lightning, and, well, fire. So yeah, wind, lightning, and fire. So yeah. And I have some jutsu to use those. But yeah. This is where Aizawa says, oh, so if we're talking about elements, I use basically earth and, well, what's called earth and water. Junko says, well, I use what's called fire, lightning. Was it lightning again? She's thinking, it's fire, yeah, fire, she says, it's fire, wind, and what's called water. The hard time because I really didn't think of any element for her, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, got it. This is where, well, they all nod, and of course they have to think of this team strategy. Of course they do that for the remaining time, and yeah. This is where, well, the next day happens, and of course Naruto, Aizawa, and Junko are there. But yeah. So of course they are at the what's called, well, training ground, and of course is where, well, the person gets there, and his name is not, well, Sakaya or anything. His name is Gojo. So yeah. Okay, I know someone's gonna be complaining of why their sensei's name is Gojo, but stop complaining because I don't give 2 fucks. It's just I couldn't really think of a great sensei name, and even if the one that I actually thought of, I already forgot about it. So yeah, I'm gonna just call him Gojo, okay? So yeah. Now, of course, this is where Aizawa, Junko, and even Naruto gets, well, ready. And of course, this is where Gojo says, you have only about the end of the day until it turns afternoon to get these bells. Got it? Go. This is where all of them kind of jumps back and kind of disappear. But yeah. This is where Gojo says, interesting. They're all getting ready. This is where, well, so, of course, this is where, well, the strategy was, well, to kind of let Junko kind of find out how to get despair, because there's not really a way to get her despair. she only has, well, not even that much of a high radius. This is where, well, Aizawa was thinking, and even Junko, and this is where Naruto thinks about it and already knows what to do. This is where Naruto kind of goes into a QB cloak. Now, of course, this QB cloak is only the one toes. This is where, well, Naruto put his hand into Junko's kind of shoulder, and she says, "What are you doing, Naruto?" This is where Naruto says, "This might hurt. I don't actually know if I can even share my chakra like this." This is where he kind of asks Kurama if he can actually land a QB cloak towards her. This is where the Nine-Tails says, yes, of course it will work. It won't burn her. I don't think so. I'm guessing you're trying to amplify her, what's it called? Well, radius of despair. Since, yes, being in the QB cloak, you kind of feel the emotions from other people. Her ability would have been so goddamn useful in a goddamn war since there's so much of it. Then again, there is a lot of it near the village. So you're trying to amplify it because they're kind of near. We're kind of near the village, at least. Naruto nodded. This is where, well, she is kind of developed in this kind of one-tail cloak. And she's wondering what is happening. Until she feels so much despair. She's like, what the? So much of it. It feels actually amazing. This is where she's getting more power and all that. And of course, a dark kind of cloak appears near her. And of course, her eyes are red now. And of course, her hair is kind of a little bit still blonde, but well, black a little bit. And it's kind of more crazier than normal. And of course, she says, I'm ready. As it were, well, the QB cloak is now let go of her because, yeah. Of course, as where she can't, she still kind of has her senses still. And Aizawa is wondering what the hell that was. And she's also wondering what the hell that was. Until, well, Gojo also senses that. And he's like, what the? Could that be the Nine-Tails? That's where Naruto says, don't worry about that. I'll be the one to distract him. You two just try to get the bells. That's where Naruto just touches the, what's it called, tree. And turns into string. This is where he says, string. What's it called? String, attack. This is where he sends multiple strings from the tree to attack Gojo. This is where Gojo says, no you don't. It hits all an invisible barrier. Now, of course, Gojo will still have his abilities, but instead of having like cursed energy or anything like that, it will all change into chakra. So his eyes are called the Six Eyes, and it's a dojutsu. That's only in the Gojo family. Now, of course, he still has Limitless, and of course, well, this Limitless is going to be kind of a weaker version, but yeah. Well, not still a weaker version. He still has all his abilities, but yeah. It shows what's it called. Blue will have to be made with chakra. Red will also have to be made with chakra. And other things will have to be used only using chakra and not cursed energy, okay? So yeah. Also, Gojo Satoru is actually kind of a cousin family to the Hatake. So yeah. Of course, this is where Gojo says, no you don't, Naruto. This is where, well, Naruto says, damn it. This is where Aizawa says, I think I know what to do. This is where he activates his eyes, and Aizawa's eyes, dojutsu, called Eraser Eyes, allows him to erase any, what's it called, well, chakra. When he erases the chakra from, well, Gojo's, what's it called, Limitless, the, well, Naruto's own, not dojutsu, Kekkei of strings kind of rushed at, well, Gojo. This is where Gojo realized his, what's it called, Limitless was gone. And of course he did get stabbed. This is where he says, what the? This is where Junko says, ha! This is where she appears right behind what's it called, Gojo, and Gojo tried to use Limitless, but of course the bells were snatched so fast, before he can even use Limitless, it was also erased again. This is where, well, he then tries to just hit Junko with a punch, but of course the strings managed to grab his arm. This is where Naruto appears right in front of him, appears right on top of him, and axe kicking him down, smashing him to the ground. This is where, well, Gojo says, can you two stop? Well, not to stop. Can you stop, Naruto? I give up, stop. This is where Naruto lets go of the strings and says, so you give up? This is where he says, clearly you three are actually pretty good. And, well, you three actually pass. Yes, this was about teamwork. And, yeah. So, The meaning of this was, well, not to let go of blah blah blah. He says something similar to what's it called, Kakashi, but yeah, since he is the cousin of Kakashi. Now Kakashi's age, wait. Since Kakashi's like 27, Gojo's actually 28. He's a little bit older than Kakashi, but yeah. And also taller. Kakashi's like 5'11", while Gojo's 6'3". Of course, this is where Junko goes out of form and says, yes! So we did pass. This is where, well, Gojo says, yep. Now, I should mention Naruto's height. Naruto's height is, well, 5'5". Junko's height is, well, 5'4". And, of course, Aizawa's height is, well, kind of 5'5", like Naruto. So, yeah. So, of course, Gojo's 6'3". So, yeah. This is where Gojo smiles and says, yep, you all passed. This is where, well, Naruto kind of smirks a little bit, well, kind of grins a little bit. Junko smiles, while Aizawa just smirks a little bit. So, yeah. But, of course, he's tired for this shit, so, yeah. Too tired for this shit. Now, of course, this is where Gojo says, well, well, you better rest, because tomorrow we're going to be doing missions and also train. So, yeah. Good night. This is where Gojo disappears, and before he disappears, he grabs the bells from Junko and says, but yeah, bye. This is where he disappears. This is where, Aizawa says, well, I'm going back to home and going to sleep. This is where Naruto says, okay, well, bye. This is where, well, before he gets, Naruto gets to leave. This is where Aizawa and Junko then ask before they leave. Hey, Naruto, what was that orange cloak thing that was developed in Junko's body? This is where Naruto was hoping for them not to ask. And this is where Naruto says, huh? Oh, something. It's a little Kenkai I don't use that much. It's the fact that it amplifies everything, and even what's called a census. This is where, well, Junko can tell that that wasn't something that, well, it's a Kenkai. The reason why she could not really tell it's a Kenkai, because she felt the despair of everyone else, but also, well, this pure raw emotion from hatred, like this evil hatred being that was kind of possessing her body a little bit, but not still possessing it at the same time. She was terrified for a little bit, but she did get the power of despair for a form that she actually can use. But she was also scared. She definitely says this as not a Genkai, but she didn't say anything. Because it seems Naruto doesn't want to actually admit anything. And Aizawa can also see that Naruto is not trying to admit anything. So of course this is where Naruto disappears, using his strings to connect into a cloud and kind of just swing away. But yeah. Of course Gojo kind of also saw this because he didn't laugh. He actually was wondering if Naruto would admit for him to be the Nine-Tails. Seeing that Naruto didn't say anything, this is where Gojo says it's gonna be so much more of a headache. I wonder if I can ask the Hokage about it. But yeah. Of course, where, well, Naruto gets back home and, well, he does eat. He does kind of cook and all that. Well, he cooks, eats, and then goes to sleep and all that. And, well, he's so tired. This is where he goes into the mindscape and talks to Kurama. Kurama says, you know that was a close one, kid. Naruto says, true. But there's no easier way to actually give her the power unless it was for her to actually absorb the despair from people. And you know, there's a lot of people that has it. Because, you know, thanks to you kind of murder. This is where, well, Kurama says, oh, shut up. I didn't do it on purpose. Naruto says, I know you didn't do it on purpose. But you definitely hate the Uchihas a lot. And you haven't really told me. So I'm trying to connect the puzzles. And this is where Kurama said, oh my gosh, shut up with your goddamn bloodline. That goddamn bloodline called Joker is really annoying. The fact that you can be insane at the same time be extremely smart. I hate it. Not because I hate that clan. Exactly, that didn't do jack shit to the bee juice or anything like that. That's the problem. They really did not care about beaches or anything like that. They saw us like nothing like animals. Of course, they didn't even see themselves as humans much, but yeah. Naruto says, huh, that is true. Well, time for me to kind of prank the teacher. This is where, well, Kurama says, the only way for you to not go insane like the Joker path is the only way for you to prank people. And you pranked the whole entire school one time. It was funny. Everyone had pink hair. That pink hair girl had black hair. This is where Kurama says, oh my fucking god. Actually, he says pink hair, but Sasuke had not black hair, but bright orange hair, like Naruto's jumpsuit. But Naruto does not wear the jumpsuit. Naruto's kind of wearing this like purple clothes, and yeah. But yeah, that's what he's wearing. Of course, is where, well, Naruto, he goes to sleep and says, well, good night, Kurama. And Kurama says, good night, kid. So next day happens, and of course, it's just a bunch of D-rank missions. Of course, is where, well, Naruto, Junko, and also Aizawa are dealing with what's called the cat. Naruto managed to get the cat by using his strings, by easily just taking it out. Well, not taking it out by killing it, by just making it stop. And make it dance like a puppet. Because yes, Naruto can definitely use it as a puppet. Or use anything as a puppet when he uses strings, but yeah. So, of course, this is where, well, Naruto is just kept doing those, well, Naruto and his team kept doing those D-rank missions until Gojo then asked for a higher mission like a C-rank mission towards Hiruzen. This is where Haruka says that that would be a bad idea because Naruto, but this is where Gojo says that I am the strongest, stronger than Kakashi, so it'll be okay. This is where Hiruzen thinks about it and says, fine, I'll let that happen then. This is where Haruka says, no, but this is where the rank mission is basically to protect a princess named Kaioki, so yeah, or whatever her actual fake name was, but yeah. That's where Junko, Aizawa, and Naruto nodded. Well, Junko got excited because she's basically gonna protect some kind of actress, princess, or whatever. And Aizawa just grumbles and says, oh, this is gonna be such a drag. Gojo just says, okay. While Naruto just says, ooh, I can't wait to prank the princess. Or the actor. This is where Naruto grinned like a madman. And this is where Hiruzen says, Naruto, you cannot prank the actress. God fucking damn it, Naruto said. Fuck. This is where, well, the team actually also realized that Naruto loves to just try to prank Gojo. And Gojo almost fell for half of the pranks. He said, oh shit. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, Naruto actually was thinking of just dropping paint on her if she was a bitch. But yeah, Naruto's still packing up her paint because he has a great feeling that this actress is going to be a bitch, but yeah. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 2 of What If Naruto Was from the Joker Clan. The reason why I'm tired as fuck and I'm going to go to sleep. But yeah, bye-bye. Potato, potato. But yeah, bye-bye.